Whenever someone looks at 19-year-old Sasha Davies in public, she panics, thinking they're about to confront her.
Yeah, because over 4 years she has been accused of leading on more than 20 men and has been harassed by complete strangers because her pictures are being used to catfish people online.
Sasha joins us now alongside lawyer Yair Cohen, who specialises in internet law. Good morning to both of you. Good morning. Good morning. Let's start with you, Sasha, first of all. This all started when you were still so young. You were just 16 years old when it first started.
So it started when I left school and I started college. I had people from my local area texting me, you know, asking me, is this account me? Am I behind this fake account? And I said no. And I reported it to the police, but they were dismissive, you know, with the case. They said social media is a really grey area and they won't be able to investigate it. So I made reports to cybercrime and I didn't get anywhere with them. So I reported them to the social media platforms themselves and they said that the account doesn't go against their community guidelines. But obviously, as they were posting daily, it became, you know, more popular and they had more followers. And then that's when they started to message people. And that's when, you know, it started to get serious.
So the person behind the account that was using your images started to engage with men, and started to flirt with them and arrange. What sort of things were they arranging to do?
So they were arranging to meet up with boys as well as girls. So they were making friendships with girls online and asking them to meet up. Same with boys, but with boys it was more like, you know, flirty and relationships online.
And were any of these accounts ever shut down? And what happened after, if they were shut down, did they just transfer to somewhere else?
So at first there was only a TikTok account made, so I reported it and a lot of my family and friends reported it on my behalf. But nothing got done because they said that, you know, it wasn't going against the community guidelines.
Even though it was clearly not your account and they had stolen your identity?
No.
Extraordinary.
So then they started creating more accounts on TikTok. There were 3 accounts and one of them had 81,000 followers and the other one had 32,000 followers.
What were they posting, Sasha?
So they were posting things of me taking my pictures, some football edits, alongside things relating to my late father, who's passed away.
Right.
And at first it was like a dark humour type of post, but then over the years it progressively, you know, they were posting all the time as if it was an attention type of thing. So, you know, they were using my grief as content.
Yeah, and you're, Sasha, so it starts on social media, but then it moved to dating apps.
Yeah.
And then that's when you started getting men coming up to you because they had been catfished on the dating app to be going on a date with you.
Yeah, so they downloaded Hinge and Tinder, I know, and then I had a lot of men approaching me and texting me, accusing me of speaking to them and conversations I've never had.
What was that like?
It was very scary, you know, I felt really uncomfortable because I feel like, you know, when I was having people approach me, it was a really uncomfortable situation because obviously I don't know who these people are and I don't know what their intentions were. And I think when things like this happen on social media, your safety in the real world disappears. So now, you know, I am scared to leave my house because I don't know who's going to approach me.
It's horrible how vulnerable you feel at the hands of somebody who is manipulating you and who you are, and the police had, up till a point, had been very, very reluctant to do anything about it. The social media companies had been very reluctant to do anything about it. Yeah, I imagine this is a story that you have dealt with for many, many years, hearing Sasha explain what she's been through.
Yes, the first case, very, very similar to Sasha's case, I handled nearly 15 years ago. Again, a case of impersonation, harassment, catfishing, and the perpetrator turned out to be the very same police officer from the police station where the victim made her complaint.
You're kidding. So it was somebody...
Absolutely, yeah. So the point is, it could be anyone who's been doing those sort of things. We shouldn't be simply making assumptions.
Yeah.
Right. Is it very common? And how common is it to be perpetrated by somebody that you know?
In most cases, the victims are perpetrated by a person they know. It is either a neighbor or a work colleague or a friend. In some cases, it is a very close friend or member of family. Very, very common. Yeah, not always, but I would say about 95-96% of those cases.
Right.
So in your experience, so 15 years ago was the first case that you were able to prove and you won successfully. Yeah. How much has it exploded since then? Yeah. How big an issue is catfishing, and why on earth is it still allowed to go on?
We are seeing a lot of catfishing, particularly due to the expansion in dating app and people just using social media more and more. Catfishing is a form of harassment. It's like, for example, breaking the window in your house is a method of committing burglary. Catfishing is a method of committing harassment. So the law is there, the law is in place. The issue, of course, is that the police will simply not enforce the law and help victims such as Sasha and all the other victims, of course, of this individual.
OK, so South Wales Police, who your mum went to originally 4 years ago, and they said there's nothing they could do, they have given us this reply. We recognise that this type of identity theft can have a very serious impact on its victims. Wherever there is evidence of criminality, we will always seek to take robust action and prosecute perpetrators. We can confirm South Wales Police is investigating a case of identity theft in the Mountain Ash area, and the victim is being kept up to date during this investigation. So you have now got a crime number, haven't you, for the first time?
Yeah, so obviously when I first started going to the police, they were very, dismissive and said, because social media is such a grey area, they wouldn't be able to take any action. But now I think their classing is harassment because I'm having these men approach me. But yeah, this is the first time in obviously 4 years that I've got a crime number.
Meta have said the fake account has since been removed. That's on Instagram. Has that happened? Yeah. TikTok have said our community guidelines prohibit impersonation accounts and do not allow content that violates someone else's intellectual property rights. We have previously removed the 2 flagged accounts. Has that happened now? Although initially they said that it didn't. Sasha has an inkling. She knows who's doing this. Yair. Will you be able to try and help her to find a way through this? Because what we really want is this perpetrator to be brought to justice in some way.
So far, I have 100% success in those type of cases. And the idea is to give Sasha also some sort of a closure, some sort of guarantee. Yes. And the way we do this is by way of going to the High Court and obtaining an injunction that will enable Sasha then to have all the accounts removed. And also, if the person who perpetrated those crimes repeat those actions, then they will be going to prison. So it's a much quicker and a much more straightforward of dealing with those situations than going to the police.
Well, that's what we want to do, because we want to try and help Sasha. I'm so sorry you've been through this. And the person is out there, maybe watching this now. And knowing what she's doing is causing so much damage. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.